What's going on, everyone? Good evening and welcome to another episode number 48, Bub, of the 740 Sports Show.
Just to confirm, Michael Allstott is number 40, by the way. We've been saying his name for like the last 7 episodes.
Was John Lynch 47?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. John
Okay,
Adams
look that
was.
one up. I thought about John Lynch's 47 shortly after I said that, and we just never got back to it. I apologize, Bub. I've been wrong before. Who you got for 48?
Gosh, I don't even know.
You should have been worrying about what was going on tonight instead of looking back in the past.
Yeah, I don't know 48.
I can tell you right now, Bub, we've got 8 Saturdays lined up until the beginning of college football. Now, we've got a whole lot more Saturdays lined up before the beginning of Rio college football. But let me tell you, I told you before, I got chills right now. We're going to be kicking it this evening and chatting with Coach Quincy Williams, the newly appointed head coach of I'm not going to say appointed. I hate that word because it sounds like the man didn't earn it. Bub, guy's got an unbelievable resume. Like, looking at what Rio's getting from this guy, we're grads, Bub. Rio's getting football. Football's happening down on the farm.
That's a crazy thing to kind of think about, is Rio's finally getting football after all these years.
It's so hard to wrap our head around it. Now, it's going to the top of the hill before it goes to the farm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're starting in Jackson. We'll get
even more convenient for us.
Even more convenient for us, where it's a little more local to the headquarters, so to speak. But Bub, we're excited about it heading to the farm. And Coach Wilson is here this evening, and he's got a lot going on. Moving his son to school. He called it vacation.
Vacation.
It's a graduation for his son. He's moving him, and he's still taking the time this evening to be a part of all this. So we're excited, Bub. I'm so excited. I know you're excited. We're just going to go ahead and get right to it. So if you're watching, thank you for taking the time this evening. It's a beautiful evening in the 740, and we are here to talk football coming to the University of Rio Grande. So go ahead, lace him up, Bub. Tie him up. Strap him up. Do what it is you got to do to get yourself ready for this one, Bub. Episode 48 of the 740 Sports Show. Let's go. Bub, it's happening. It's happening. Football's coming to the farm. Football is coming to the farm. And every week we talk to somebody that was like, man, just a little bit cooler. Something cooler's happening in the 740. And it gets no bigger than what we've got going on tonight. We're going to go ahead and bring in this evening's guest. Coach Quincy Wilson is joining the show. The new head football coach at the University of Rio Grande, man. And
sir, I don't think that's sunk in yet.
I don't think it hasn't hit us. We've been I got to the University of Rio Grande in the fall of 2010 as a student. Okay. And I remember asking the dean of students at that time, is football coming to the University of Rio Grande? Right. And he said, yes, it is. I didn't think it would be coming a decade and a half later.
He meant your lifetime.
He did, but better late than never. And I'll tell you what, my body is thankful that it came just a little bit later, Bub, because the practice squad would have just I would have had a field day on that practice squad. You know what I mean?
Oh, gosh.
But Bub, we are joined this evening by Coach Wilson. And, man, first of all, thank you for taking the time this evening with everything you've got going on in particular. It's a blessing, and we're thankful that you're here speaking with us this evening, Coach.
Well, we don't get our word out unless we do stuff like this and get on platforms like yourself. You guys could have any guest in the world, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be on there. And I'm just glad to spread the word. And I'm sure there's a bunch of questions, so I like getting the word out because there's nothing worse than gray area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're going to get to exactly what that is. All the questions. We know you've got a lot you want to talk about. Our good buddy Travis Elliott said that he spoke with you at the Rio Shootout, and said
Yes.
that
Yep.
he said, man, you've got to speak with this guy. And I was like, brother, if he'll talk with us, you have no idea how happy I would be to speak with what's going to be the head coach of the first Rio team since the 50s. And like I said, just thankful you're here. So like you said, we've got a lot to talk about. He said you were happy to be. He said you wanted to discuss your vision locally, which I
Yeah.
thought was crazy and super cool. So let me start with this, man. Where does your vision begin for Red Storm football?
Yeah, well, it starts with the connection. Obviously, we're not playing this season, so
Yep,
we get
right.
a whole high school season to get at these games and be physical. Have that Red Storm Lego, out there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a camp here in July, and
Oh,
I've been
Oh, nice.
I've been recruiting. I've recruited the area before, but not I've always recruited Columbus a little heavier. Just
hmm
past
Yeah.
through. You always hit the normal spots. Well, hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
hit the Wheelersburg. I'm gonna hit Ironton. I'm gonna hit Jackson. And you kind of go
Right.
on your way. But being here the last 3 weeks, I realized how much great football is around.
Yeah.
So as your first vision is like, well, we're going to keep all the stars home. And I was like, no, 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 no. We're going to keep every player home that wants to play football because that's our base.
Yeah.
That's what's going to fill our stands. And I always say football is a true sport. So like you said, if I would have started, but if I probably wouldn't have finished, or I probably would have. You never know. But
Yeah.
our job is to make sure that we put these kids in the best situation to play football. And what better
Yeah.
place than to do it in front of mom, dad, girlfriend, auntie, and uncles, and all that stuff? Because that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I went to West Virginia and I stayed home because I was an hour away from home.
Yeah.
And the guys would crack up. I get in garbage time or something, and I would get the biggest cheer. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, that's the whole point.
That's
That's
it,
why I
man.
stayed home, and that's what we're going to sell to these kids. And I
Yeah.
think it's going to take getting that first star, as they say, to
Yeah.
commit, and then but once we get it, it's going to it's like once the torch is lit, it's going to burn. It's going to burn light.
Man, and coach, you've said it. It's a spark in southeastern Ohio goes a long way when it comes to football. It goes a long way,
hmm
and you've we're going to get to your recruiting past and some of your coaching past, and I love that you got a background in recruiting because I can't wait to talk to you about your message towards recruits as well.
Yeah.
We saw that we've seen that you've been to work in southeastern Ohio. We've seen a little bit of you being in the kitchen early. We love it. We love it because we know that we know that the head coach of Rio Grande's going to recognize there's great football going on, but it's different to go ahead and you're 3 weeks, 4 weeks of being probably hired on campus and really in the
Right.
swing of things, and you're already giving offers out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yep.
Because those are opportunities. They're not just come play football for us. Those are opportunities that these kids
Yeah.
are getting.
Well, we were blessed. I've had a great relationship with most of these coaches, anyways. So,
Yeah.
as soon as I got the job, they were sending me lists before I even advertised. We were looking for guys. So,
Yeah.
that's I'm an early riser. So, when you get up 6 in the morning, there ain't much to do but drink coffee and recruit. So,
Hey.
I get these lists. You look at these guys, and what I like about recruiting is that you're trying to project. Okay, so as me, I'm a running back. I'm trying to see, well, not who's the
Yeah.
next Quincy Wilson, but who has the skill set. Who does he
Yeah.
do this? Does he do that? Every position has its unique kind of quirks, as they say,
Yeah.
and I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And there's nothing like a guy that you may recruit. Say I know we're obviously we can't talk about guys at high schools now, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
see a
Yeah.
guy at XY high school and you see something that someone else does, and then you'll see them offer them. You're like,
Right.
oh, that's surprising. So
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it's kind of that deal where if he's offering them, then I know must be pretty good. So I
Yeah.
love that because again, it's not. I tell guys like recruiting is like dating. And when you first meet a girl, you want the Instagram, you want the TikTok, you want the
Yeah.
Snapchat, you want every way to get a hold of them. And then
Yeah.
but as it goes further, you actually have to get to know this person and get to know.
Right.
That's why I tell them don't get involved with the initial. People talking to you. What kind of relationship do you have? Do they have a vision for you? Do they see
Yeah.
you playing? And then
Right.
when it's time to make a decision, you'll know. It's
Yeah.
not when the guys say, "Well, I don't know where I'm going," it's because they haven't got all their questions answered.
Yeah. Hey, Bub, the man's a great talker, and I hope as a single guy you're taking notes, Bub, because that's
I mean,
great advice.
I don't have
Hey.
social media, so
Hey.
like I feel like I'm already ahead of the curve with that.
Hey, man, something tells me if you're listening.
And that tip was free, so don't worry about it.
We didn't even have to come to camp in July, man. But hey, we appreciated the first tip coming to the 740. And Coach, we're going to give you an opportunity to talk about that here before we go as well. But give me just because we're going to get to your background. Both as a coach, but also we can't wait to talk about your WVU time as well. We heard that there was, and you don't have to attest to this, but I got to at least ask because I was intrigued by this. We heard that there was somewhere over 2,000 applicants for this position. So let me at first ask you, do you know if that number's accurate? Can you attest to it? And if not, that's fine. But if so, what does it mean?
I can say it was at least in the hundreds.
Okay. That's crazy, man. Just hundreds that's incredible. That's
Yeah.
nationwide. So what does it mean to you, at least in the hundreds? So what does it mean to you to be selected amongst all these coaches nationwide?
Well, being in the profession, obviously this is my 13th year, and obviously I've applied different places where, you don't even know if they got your email. So, to go through the actual process, you're kind of, you get the initial, hey, we'd like to talk to you. And then you kind of sell your vision, and then they invite you on campus, and then you kind of really get to sell your vision. And then you kind of play you say the waiting game, say, are they going to call or they're going to not call? And I've been in that position before. So I think I was in a unique position to be like, I'm going to make sure that they know everything about me so I can make this the easiest decision they ever made. So, I had a plan for fundraising. I had a plan for hiring staff. I had a plan for our recruiting base. I had a plan for, I just had a plan for everything. So every time they would check a box or they would say this, I was like, boom, I got that stuff I covered. I've already thought about that. So I think that's what kind of won them over, to kind of prepare. I did study, obviously, usually you study up on the program, their best players and that. And I went to the basketball side. I was like, well, hey, they don't have football, but they've had a rich tradition in basketball. Some nice distinguished alums, and obviously Bob Evans. So I kind of was throwing all that kind of stuff. So I kind of felt it was almost like I've been there, but I haven't been there. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And Rio's such an easy place to fall in love with as well. And you mentioned something, Coach. You mentioned kind of checking the boxes. That was one thing that athletic director Jeff Lanham said about you, and what I would consider his first press conference or interview after you were hired was that he just named something. You just checked every box possible. And I used to coach at Rio. I was a part of the volleyball program with Coach Donaldson. I was there for 4 years. I've sat in on those Wednesday morning meetings. I've been a part of all those things. Jeff's a pretty thorough guy. So for Jeff to say that was pretty insightful. I got a big kick out of that. So I read that yesterday or Friday or whenever it was. Everything's working together. I was happy to hear that, man, because I was like, okay, this guy's definitely someone I can't wait to talk to. You mentioned your time at WVU. You were there 99 to 2003. That was like the best time as a player. That was like the best time in college football in my brother and I's eyes. Man, what a great time for college football. You were also the assistant director of football operations under Coach Dana Holgerson. 2012 to 2015, legendary coach in college football, especially at WVU. Of course, you got Neil Brown there now and doing great things as well. Talk to me about your time at WVU, or talk to us, I should say. Is there anything from your time at WVU that you plan to bring to Rio Grande?
Well, it's the impression that Coach Nealon had on my mom when she sat on my couch. She said, "That's where you're going." Now, of course, I had 4 different businesses.
It's over then.
I had 4 different businesses set up. So, so that's what I think of. I think of the impact, that you get to have on kids, and a mother, and they're saying, well, hey, this is my baby, and I trust you. That's a huge, as they say, not burden, but it's a huge chore. And it's something I love, because a lot of these kids, a lot of them get frustrated by the recruiting process, and they know, well, maybe I played with this guy, and he's not as good as I am, but he has 25 offers, and whatever, and for whatever reason. And I always love the fact that you get to sit that kid down, and you can make for that day or that evening that you're there, you got to make him feel like he's the most important athlete in the history of football.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what it is. And you tell them how, how you're going to help them in the classroom. You're going to tell them how he's going to help you in the weight room and how you're going to develop them. And then you look mom in the eye and say, well, hey, football's great, but we're going to make sure he also graduates. So
Yes, sir.
have a
That's
plan together. And I
yes,
think as
sir.
long as you stay organized, and I think as long as you're consistent with people, and like I said, that's in all walks of life. But I think in recruiting, I think that's I learned that from Coach Neal. I learned the family aspect from Coach Rod. Hey, he said learn everybody's name. I don't care if it's the janitor.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
Yeah.
what I think. I think the more you learn, the more you're invested. And I think the more you get these kids invested. They're already home, and then they really buy in. We won't have to worry about guys in the portal or guy because even if he's the ninth string kicker,
Yeah.
he loves Rio so much that I don't want to miss this.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're talking to guys, man, our mom's got a degree from Rio. We've got degrees from Rio. So we're Rio family, brother. Like I couldn't tell you that my favorite mornings were the mornings where I would wake up, get down to the farm, and then the sun would rise. You know what I mean? And you're looking out
There
the
you go.
line center, out that hill, and it's
Yeah.
just beautiful. Those are the best mornings around. Bub, you got anything for Coach Wilson here? I'm going to talk to him here in just a moment. He mentioned his recruits, man. So I got to talk to him about his recruits in just a moment.
Okay. What's kind of the coaching philosophies you're going to be bringing to the table once you get started,
Ooh,
right? Like kind of the
yeah.
offensive and
Yeah.
defensive scheme starting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've done a deep dive into our conference. Obviously, we're going into the Appalachian Conference.
Mhm.
Couple teams in Georgia, a couple
Who?
teams in Kentucky.
Okay.
Uh,
Could you name a couple of teams? I don't even know what conference you guys are diving into.
yeah, so the Appalachian Conference. So Ryan Hardin Point in Georgia,
Okay. Okay.
Pikeville and Union and Kentucky Christian, who will obviously be our closest rival,
Yep.
and then Bluefield, and then there's St. Andrews in North Carolina.
Okay. So
So,
Bluefield, West
so
Virginia.
Reinhardt has been the big dog. Obviously, Georgia football, we all know how that goes. So
Yeah.
7 out of the last 8 years, they've been conference champions, and and so I was like,
Great
wow, who's the
conference.
best? Who's the best? Let me go look at them, and as I watched them and I evaluate them, there are some extremely great athletes in this conference, so we're gonna have to buckle up. But it also excited me because I think we
Yeah.
have a chance to compete early. And then you ask kind of a philosophy. We're going to be lining up, and we're a downhill guy. I'm an old
Yeah.
running
He's a
back.
running back, Bub.
You know,
Come on. You know what's
Uh-huh.
up.
hey,
Come on, Bub.
you know that. Yeah, hey, football's been around for 200 years, and it ain't changed. Run the
Yes,
ball and stop
sir.
the run. So we're definitely going to be, in that aspect, running the ball downhill and then aggressive. I think I think defense is an attitude. And as long as
Yeah.
you have 11 guys that communicate and hustle and run to the football, you always got a plan. So
Yeah, Bub.
we'll be 3-3 stacked, but a multiple on defense, and we'll be
Mhm.
a hybrid of the spread, a little bit of air raid, just little bits and pieces of things I picked up along the way.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Man, Bub, Coach Wilson's here. Hey, Trav, flip to that, our producer Trav, flip to that Rio helmet, man. You looked at it there, gave me chills just a moment ago.
Oh
Coach,
yeah,
I saw this Rio helmet. We saw the kind of the unveiling of all of this, man. Huge news on just a weekday down on the farm, man. And it was awesome. Let me ask you this. You were also, most recently, you were running backs coach and recruiting coordinator at Fairmont State in
yes
West
sir.
Virginia. I played semi-professional ball against a lot of guys that played at Fairmont State. Great football coming out of Fairmont State. Phenomenal football coming out of Fairmont State. I love that you were very recently a recruiting coordinator because that made me feel like I could ask this question. We touched on it a little bit ago. What is your message to recruits, not only in the 740, because I get football's coming to Rio. It's a little bit easier to pitch, be a part of it when you're a down home kid. Talk to me
Right.
about your message to also these inner city kids or maybe
Yeah.
these suburban kids as well.
Well, I think the excitement of just a new program. I think this generation, this is the 15-minute generation. So we get a chance to, like you said, they see the helmet. Oh my goodness, I see the helmet. Let me do some investigation.
Cold
I
chills.
see there's going to see the uniforms on. Hey, let me, So
All black, bub.
I think these kids, they do their homework if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
once you have their kind of their ear. They kind of do the homework there. So then they see, okay, well, Coach Wilson, obviously, he has professional. He's been in the pros. He's done this.
Yeah.
And then, you kind of get their intrigue. Because, like I said, we haven't even advertised about recruits. And I got an
Yeah.
inbox full of guys that want to boost. So I think just the excitement of the new, we're able to tap into this generation where they're saying, well, hey, I want to be a part of something new. I want to be the first 1,000-yard rusher,
Yeah.
3,000-yard passer, first guy to
That's
have two
it.
sacks in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the
Yes.
way these kids think. So we're going to harp on that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sell that. And obviously, there are a lot of great universities in this school.
Yeah.
In the state.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
look forward to going head to head with those guys because in the end, it's about getting your education and it's about playing ball, but it's
Yeah.
also about the experience. And that's the one thing I'm gonna tell you. I was like, the one thing I will sell to every kid is that you will not have a greater football experience than you will at Rio Grande.
Yeah. So I love it, man, because it sounds like your message kind of ultimately is the same. We're starting from the ground up. Come be
Yeah.
a part of it. Don't matter where you're from. Come
Oh
be a
yeah.
part. Come be a part of something. I'm excited, brother. It's been a great Sunday. Come be a part of something that is going to be awesome. I believe in President Ryan Smith wholeheartedly down there, brother.
Great guy.
He's got
Yep.
unbelievable guy, and he's got unbelievable intentions for that university. I believe in everything the man's doing. But you're just hey, come play ball. We'll figure out if you can play. We'll figure out a spot for you. Come play ball. We'll figure out everything else for you. So I love everything about it, man. And you mentioned your willingness to go head to head, and WVU guy, you're a running back. You seem like you've got the perfect mindset for what Rio needs. Hard-nosed, downhill football. Man, I can't wait to watch it. 7-4-0 football is just gotten a lot better with football on the hill. We had a fan question, and this doesn't happen often for us. We had a fan respond to our Instagram's pretty slow, Trav. We had a fan ask him about absolutely destroying the Miami DB. And this is from William, whose name on Instagram is big.smooth33. So, William, first of all, thanks for your question, man.
Yes, sir.
I've got to know, first of all, Miami, Ohio, and then please tell the story if this is a real thing.
Well,
it sounds real. That chuckle means it's real, bub.
As you mentioned, back in the day, anyone who followed college football, the Big East was college football. My freshman year was Michael Vick. Miami took over the next 3 years, with national championships. So my 4 years of football were some of the greatest things with that. And you also got to think back then, not every game was televised. So the Thursday night game, everyone always looked to see, are we playing Thursday night? Are we playing? Yeah. That was like the prime time, spot, to get a game on TV.
So you look forward to those as collegiate athletes. You look forward to those Thursday nights.
You circled it. You thought about
it. That's cool.
Oh yeah. So
okay, cool, man.
And then,
at least back then,
national champions. So so playing Miami, and the year before, I tell people this: we ran for 300 yards against them.
Yeah.
I ran for 100 yards. Avon ran for like 170 yards. So we had confidence going into the game. Like, hey, we know we can run the ball. Now, can we stop their weapons and all that kind of stuff?
Right.
But hey, but we went down there with confidence, and it was a back and forth game. And the play before the touchdown, we just missed a quick little dump pass to KJ. So obviously it's 3rd and 14, and you kind of got to recalibrate. And that was kind of our thing. Next play.
Yeah.
So. Obviously playing against Miami with 5, 6, 7, 8 first-round guys. Obviously, there's a pass rush, so we put in a screen.
Yeah.
But we weren't a screen team, obviously the first time we run it, we got parade going on past me. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, they're having a good old time.
Live from the parade.
There you go. You want street action, we got it. So, so obviously we run the play, and obviously it wasn't blocked well. The guy comes back and almost takes me out, but I make him miss. But after that, the blocks were all set up. So, just ran down the sidelines. And again, I wore big old lineman pads for a reason.
Yeah.
So I see this young gentleman coming at me. I was like, well, he's got to be taking out my legs. He's got to be coming from my legs, and he was just coming straight at him. So just drop the shoulder a little bit, and like you said, laid the boom. So it's one of those things like when you're in it, you just want to score, and you just want to beat Miami, and you just want to you're not thinking. But then as oh my goodness, 20 years later, you're like. That was pretty cool play, and then you get to go to the FBs, and you get people remember this stuff. So it's one of those things where, like I said, they always say if they can remember one play from your career, you've done something. And I get to live in Mountain Air Low for forever.
Yeah, man. Hey,
that's awesome.
You're living the dream. And Bub, notably, we're so excited about Rio football. You mentioned it too. You've been all over the place. You were a Bengal. You were Cincinnati Bengal.
Yep.
And Bub, this is the first, I think, professional athlete we've ever had join our show. So first of all, I don't know how we got
Yeah.
here, but man, Coach Wilson, thank you so much for joining us. Man. We appreciate you that much more now being a Bengal. Like I said, thank you so much, Bub. We're gonna let this man go. He's helping his kid move.
Yeah, he's a busy father today.
He took the time away from being a dad to also talk to us, man. So, Coach, thank you so much, man. We appreciate
you guys. And again, as we go forward, I'd love to hop back on and kind of give you guys the progress of the program. And
please,
we're gonna have a spring game this year. Definitely. Hey, if we can do a live simulcast, let's get the ESPN effect. Let's get this thing rocking.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Absolutely.
Hey, real quick before we go, talk to us. You said you got a camp coming up in July. What are the dates on your camp? Talk to us about that. Where's it at?
Sunday, July 14th at Jackson High School. So registration.
Okay.
Yep, it'll start. Registration is 10 o'clock. Obviously, we'll get the camp 11-2 going. Excited to obviously this will probably be the last camp for a lot of guys. Obviously, a lot of the I know Ohio's starting in the end of July. I think a lot of the West Virginians start in July. So this will probably be the last camp for a lot of kids, and maybe first for a couple guys that haven't got to do anything. So it's more of an introduction, just so we can kind of sell the program and get that. Expecting about at least 50 kids, and we're like I said, we get to. It's really the first time that we get to coach. So I'm absolutely fired up about that. And then we're going to be playing at that stadium for 2 years. So also a chance for those guys to see where we'll be doing our home games.
Okay, man, that's great. Yeah, and we're Jackson guys, obviously. Facilities at day. If you're a recruit watching
first
this,
class,
facilities,
Coach Andy and those guys are first class guys, and look forward to that relationship definitely.
And the relationship will be great. Waylon Massey, the AD, Phil Howard, the superintendent,
yes,
unbelievable people. They will make sure that recruits, athletes, everybody in that program at Rio are taken care of. It will be Friday night football on Saturdays, man, and every other day that they play it.
Yeah,
Rest assured.
We already got the hashtag Pack the Jack.
Oh my
Pack
gosh,
Jack.
Dude! I wish I had someone. I got cold chills, dude. Hey, man, my son's name's Jackson. We're Grio guys, so I can't tell you how excited we are. Coach, thank you so much.
He'll be the first one to get the Pack the Jack shirt. I'll make sure.
Stop, man. Hey, Coach, man. Thank you so much, brother. Hey, we appreciate it, Coach. Anything else before we go you'd like to say or mention? The floor is yours if you got it.
Guys, again, appreciate the floor. Obviously, this Southeast Ohio Valley, we are fired up and ready to get started. All my social media is out there. Please stay tuned. We need to support. Again, this is a local program. We are a local-based program. We want your kids, and we want your support. So look forward to meeting everybody. Look forward to getting into the middle schools this fall and just entrenching myself into this community.
Well, Coach, welcome to the community. Welcome to the 740 with open arms on our behalf, man. Thank you so much. You've got 200% support on our end. Anything we can do, you got us. And we'll try to pop by on July 14th and maybe take a picture or two and promote what you got going on if we can.
Appreciate you guys. Awesome. Have a great night, guys.
Hey, thanks so much for your time. Coach Quincy Wilson, head coach of the University of Rio Grande's head football squad. Man, Bub.
That's a good one.
Man, Bub. I do not. By the way, if you're watching this, stick around. Long time story of what Bub and I have discussed from a basketball perspective. I got a video of this action, by the way, coming up. Bub, I got the video. But Bub, Quincy Wilson, Bub, he's going to be great for the University of Rio Grande. RedStorm football is off to a phenomenal start.
Yeah, he's got a good platform. He's kind of basing everything off of starting local and then expanding outward. I think that's the proper way to do it. And with his background in recruiting already, I mean, I think that's a kickstart to the program.
Yeah, I think so too. And you mentioned not only his background, but his experience and really just his energy. That was
he's got a good energy. He's gonna attract a lot of newer generation of talent.
Next level energy, man. He's bringing old level football, Bub. What we consider old level football. He's bringing 90s football into the 2025 era and 2024 era, 2025 era, and it's going to be amazing. Bub, we got a lot of Jackson friends tuning into this. Tommy Hill, Libby Conley, Aaron Costello, Tucker Thorne, man, they're all in here. They're all high. Bub, Kazi's in here. They're all talking about what we got going on and not what we got going on, but what the University of Rio Grande has going on, and Coach Quincy Wilson, man, and just a killer interview. He gave some incredible answers, man, to some pretty lackluster questions at the end of the day. You know, we can only do what we can do. But no,
Well, I
man,
mean, I thought they were fair answers.
no, man, he did a great job, and we asked him everything we could think to ask the man,
Mhm.
and I know he's going to be faced with some other answers and some other questions and things like that going forward. But Coach Wilson, man, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, and the University of Rio Grande, man, obviously proud alumni here, and we wish everybody nothing.
Super
but the
excited
best
for
of
the
luck.
upcoming season.
Absolutely, man, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Of course, he mentioned they're going to play their first 2 years at Rio, Bub. Not just that first, or at Rio, at Jackson. They're going to play the first 2 years at Jackson. So if you're a recruit, I promise you, man, I mean, those facilities, we had the opportunity to walk through them just last fall and kind of set out and do our thing before the playoff game and speak to the team and all that. Coach Hall treats us well. He always has, Bub. The recruits are going to receive top-notch, the athletes are going to receive top-notch treatment at the Jackson facilities. There's no better place to play a game, man. They're just
No, Jackson is kind of the premier hub for just the what's the word? Facilities. There we go.
Yeah,
For the
facilities.
facilities for high schools around here.
Facilities are top notch, man, and I'm excited to see what a football stadium down on the farm looks like. That's going to be
I'm interested I'm interested to see how it looks.
Man,
You think they do something like the Sphere in Las Vegas?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey, I don't know. Hey, if the Panthers can get what they got past, anything's possible, Bub. Anything's possible.
I guess so.
Hey, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. And of course, our wrap up, Bub, presented by our good friends at Hothead Burritos, Bub. Go ahead and download that app and let the points add up. 2 times the points on Tuesdays. So it's double worth your time. Bub, before we go, do you have anything you'd like to throw into all of this? Because I got actually 2 things this evening, believe it or not.
Nope.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all tonight.
All right. Well,
There's not really any fun facts for me tonight.
Okay, well, I have a fun fact.
Okay, let's hear it.
Ironton native and Ole Miss a graduate, student, athlete, Mackenzie Long. She's going to Paris, Bub. She's going to be participating in the 2024 Olympics. She is a sprinter. She is a part of a relay team. So she's going to Paris, Bub.
That's very cool.
That's unbelievable. And she also, Bub, this is what's crazy. I was on Facebook a little while ago doing my Facebook duty for the weekend, and she was on Facebook. She notably thanked her hometown of Ironton on Facebook in a post. So
you have to research it and let me know what the relay team is, like what the exact.
I'll tell you what I need to do. I didn't have quite enough time to dive into it, but I just I saw Ironton Football's post congratulating her on making it. And I saw 2 other ones or 3 other ones. And then I'll be honest with you, I kind of just got into some other things. We had some other things we wanted to touch on. So we did a lot of work leading up to tonight's show. So I didn't have quite the time, but we will follow up on that. We'll definitely touch on that. Not sure if it'll be on the radio show this week or not. But we'll figure out what's going on, and we'll let the folks on our Facebook and Instagram know. But also wrapping up here, Bub, we have a video to present. And Bub, we talk about this video quite a bit.
Yeah. I didn't know if we'd ever find it again.
I didn't know if we would or not. It is a video from probably 2001, 2002. And it is a video that has come up on this show. We have talked about it. We have diagrammed it even. The infamous inbound play, Bub, where we fouled out too many players. And we pulled Bubba. This is so true, and I didn't know if we'd ever find the footage of it. We pulled Bubba from the stands. Bubba was in a shirt that was not
and zip off pants, bud. And zip off pants.
Bubba
that went to shorts.
Well, we don't have footage of the
I'm in business.
But this was so authentic. This was so true, and this is something we talked about at the inception of this show. We talked about this so early, and I finally have located the footage.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see it.
So, Trav, we have a 22-second clip of Bubba with the infamous inbounds play. And Bub, before we click on it, I want you, because Bubba hasn't seen this yet. Bubba hasn't seen this in.
I'm already tearing up from it because I already know. In my head, I already know exactly how this looks.
When's the last time you saw this clip?
God, in my nightmares. I honestly could. Oh gosh, It's got to be. How old am I? 31. How old was I at the time? Probably 8. It's got to be at least 20.
You think it's been 20, 15
Yeah.
years? 15
Yeah, I
years?
don't know. It's been a while.
Well, it's been a while, but nonetheless, we finally have dug up this footage
Oh,
from the
God.
archives of the 740 Sports Show. Boys and girls, we
I
have
can't
the
wait to
footage
see this.
of Bub getting absolutely domed by my inbound. And here we go, Bub. Bub, do you...
Oh. Why are you gonna zoom in on me?
Hey, bro. Hey, did Colin get an opportunity to see that, Bub?
Yeah, he's dying laughing. Oh, shit.
Hey, Trap.
I mean, who just...
Hey, producer Trap, play it again. Play it again.
Bro, dude, I mean, you just throw a fucking piss missile at me.
Bro, pay attention. Bro, what I love about it is...
Like, I mean, I'm coming up to set the screen, and you're just like, take the ball.
Bro.
I'm the last player to touch the ball in that. I just came out of the stance. I didn't even get a stretch. Why would you throw me the ball?
I'm not even expecting it.
I'm not even in the same uniform. I'm wearing like a shirt that like reflects with the light and makes different patterns and zip off pants. Why'd they even let me in there? That tournament was messed up from the beginning.
You take what the defense gives you, and you were open, bro. It was a good defensive team. I had to check down. It was what it was. Bro, what I love about the video, and we are going to play this one more time because, Bub, comments are just hysterical right now. I cannot wait to go back and read all these comments. But we are going to play this one more time. But what I want to watch, what I want you to watch, Christian Dill. Do you remember Christian Dill, Bub?
Yeah.
Christian Dill's reaction to the right-hand side of the screen to you not catching that ball is priceless visual information.
Oh, I remember his face. I remember his face like vividly in that, and I'm just like, what are you looking at? Like, you got to this point. Like, you should have done something else to get us to where you don't have to deal with a guy coming off the stands.
Bro, let's do this one more time. Trav, I can't do it, but let's do it one more time. Wow.
We still won the game. We still won the game. You know what's even sadder about all this? Is I still had to play the rest of the tournament with you guys. I didn't want to play with you pricks after you guys hit me in the head with the ball. And then you cut, like, and then, just the little crybabies dealing with the turnover.
Bro, chill out. It's not like that.
And then I had to play a whole tournament with you. The only plus is I got cardos like in between games.
Well, hey, what Bubba means is that our team, despite Bubba's late turnover, carried Bub and the rest of the squad to victory. So,
I'm gonna say piss poor front office management to have to like just think. You know what I live off of though is you guys had to bring me in from the stands when Andrew Brown didn't even get to make the team. It was so bad they wouldn't take Brown. They took a random guy from the stands.
Bro,
I wasn't even a
No, I remember talking about this tournament, and Brown was like, "Oh wait, what do you mean? There was a team? Like you remember that? No, he didn't even know until like a year ago or 2 years ago that there was even a team, bro."
They were just like, "Oh yeah, dude, you want to tell them?"
Yeah, bro, like, let's go ahead and let Brown go softly, man. Yeah, and the extent of that team, the fullest extent of that team was pulling Bub from the stands because we had too many foul out. And the footage lives on, Bub. It's still here.
Costello's comment of you just, like, You're just crushing my entire confidence. That couldn't have been more true.
Dude.
Like, I think I was in fifth
You haven't
grade,
been the same
fourth
since.
grade.
You really ain't been the same. That was payback for the cornea thing, man.
I mean, get over it. I'm pretty sure that happened after. The cornea happened after.
At least there's no.
You had to wear an eye
this.
patch to school one time.
Well, no, but at least there's no footage of it that lives on to this day, and that's what matters, bub.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what matters. Hey, bub, before we go, I asked you earlier, you got anything else, man? We're going to wrap it up for the evening. Hey, thanks to everybody for watching.
I'm sure if I sat here long enough, I could.
We don't want you to.
But yeah, we don't want to do that.
So
I'm going to say no.
All right. Well, hey, if you tuned in, man, thanks for watching this one. This was one that we looked forward to all week. We had another great one with Tyler Kratzenberg earlier in the week on Wednesday. But this was one that we really looked forward to, Coach Wilson, and we've been looking forward to this one for a decade and a half. You know what I mean? Since before
this was a good one.
This show was even even born. So we're thankful for Coach Wilson taking the time out of his crazy schedule, by the looks of it, bub, to join us.
Yeah, I mean, just to stop mid what he called vacation was moving his son out of his dorm and relocating him to another one.
Hey, when you take being a dad that seriously, brother, every day is a vacation. That's going to do it for us here on this episode of the 7-4 Sports Show. Stay tuned to our Facebook. We're going to let you know what's coming up this week as we continue our work with Total Media Radio and Fox Sports 105.3 WYBC in Jackson. We're going to figure out what's going on this week and figure out if we're back on the radio, bub, if we're going back to the stream and what's going on there. So been a lot going on with us here, so we're trying to find where our home really is, bub. You know what I mean?
I just know I'm going to have a lot of 4th of July pictures coming through to you.
You won't.
You remember St. Patty's Day pictures?
Sure do.
Yeah, we're going to get 4th of July pictures. I've got the outfit ready. It's prime.
That's great. Can't wait. Yeah, can't wait. Bub, you're going to not remember any of it until at least the 6th of July, and that's ultimately what is important. Single man, Bub, taking advice from Coach Wilson here, the newly appointed Rio Grande.
Yeah, don't have social media is what he said, basically. That's what I heard. And I'm pretty much there.
I mean, that's pretty much where it is, ultimately. Bub.
So don't follow our Facebook. I got you. Because you shouldn't have social media, right? That's how they do it, right? Okay.
Is he okay? Producer Trav, the producer, says you're fine. That's all that matters. Yeah. Thanks for tuning into this one. Follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, and be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. We'd appreciate all of that. We're trying to grow this little thing and make it into something that's not so little. Maybe something that's a little more regional in the 740. And we appreciate all of you who take the time to view and comment and make all of these things possible. All of you are incredible. That's going to do it for us here on this episode 48 of the 7-4 Sports Show. Until next time, make it your mission to make life better for every person you meet. We'll see you next time.
Bye.